When you use mail merge with Word and Excel, one thing that causes a lot of grief sometimes is the option to include dates that you've got in your Excel sheet formatted in whatever way they might be, and bring them over to Word and format them in a specific way. And you don't do that in Excel. A lot of people will try, but the formatting actually is done in kind of a buried way within Word. You use field codes. So let's take a look at what that's going to be like if I were to jump into my sheet here. So in this example, I have collected some just ridiculous data from a little fun quiz I did in one of my sessions a while back. And when that happened, I've got all that data in a spreadsheet, and I've now used the file option to download that to an Excel file. So that's how that's working. When I download that, I can then, of course, drop it into Word. So if I get my Word document going here, then what we're going to see here in Word is all of the tags. I've all got it set up already. So I've connected the data by coming up to select recipients and grabbing my existing list. I can show it to you real quick with the edit option here. There you go. And we've got a timestamp, which is a date with a full time in it. So I'm going to manipulate that. I want to change what that looks like. So I've got all my tags in here right now. And of course, if I just preview the results, we end up seeing it like this. So there's our timestamp that we're going to end up manipulating here. And then all that other data is not really important right now. So turn off the preview. If I want to adjust that timestamp so that it doesn't appear with a full date and a full time, what I'm going to do is in here, right click on that and come to my field codes. I want to edit this field. So from there, what I'm going to do is come down to field codes. So with that clicked, I see merge field and timestamp, and then right after that is where I'm going to put in my switches. So we got to look up what the switches are because it doesn't tell you right here. That's the thing. So if I come to a document that I've got going here, we can take a look. I'll go to the top for a moment here just to let you know that there are special formats for numbers and then also some special formatting for date and time. So depending on what you want to manipulate, you're going to put that little switch in front of whatever it is you're about to manipulate. From here, I'm going to scroll down on my dates, and it's going to show me a little sample here of how this would look. So this is what a tag would look like if I'm going to put that into my field codes. And right now, the 4Ds will give me a full written out day. 4Ms is going to give me the fully written out month. I've got a single D in there to give me just a date. And then the 4Ys, oh, there we go, to give me the entire year. And I can manipulate that in a whole bunch of different ways. So if I come down past some of these bullets, we can just see an easy little picture version of what's going to happen here. Full month, a date, and a year gives me this layout here. So if I'm looking at that and go, you know what I'd really like is maybe Tuesday, August 1st. I like the abbreviated August, but I want the full Tuesday. Okay. I'll grab either of these really. I'll go ahead and grab this one. I'm going to copy that. I could type this out, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here. And then going back to that for a moment, when I look at it and say, okay, I actually want the full date, or full day, I should say, rather than just the abbreviated, I need 4 Ds. So I'm going to come to my Word document, I'm going to add in that extra D. And now I can go ahead and say, okay. And if I preview my results again, I now have a nicely formatted date in there that I'm going to be able to use to, just represent that date a little more cleanly, a little more clearly to the people that are going to be reading this when I eventually, merge it and send it out. So that's what you're going to need to look at if you are planning to do mail merges and you want to affect how the date actually looks in your final result. As tempting as it is, we don't actually change the formatting in Excel. That will have no effect whatsoever on what lands in Word. It gets that raw data, so you've got to use field codes in order to manipulate that. And the document I referenced here is going to be right next to this video on our doc.